Welcome to FlashCore, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. The American automotive world was rocked this morning, not by an earthquake but by a shockwave that rippled through every corner of the industry. The news hit with the force of a natural disaster, sending tremors through Detroit and far beyond, as if the very ground beneath the auto industry had shifted. But this wasn't a geological event. It was a corporate tremor, one that would be felt in boardrooms, garages, and living rooms across America. Ford Motor Company, a name synonymous with American muscle, innovation, and the freedom of the open road, made an announcement that left millions stunned and speechless. For over a century, Ford has been more than just a car maker. It's been a symbol of progress, resilience, and the American dream itself. In a move that almost no one saw coming, Ford declared a radical departure from its century-old identity. The company, once defined by roaring engines and chrome, is now steering into uncharted territory, signaling a transformation that could rewrite its legacy. The news spread like wildfire, igniting conversations in homes, offices, and online communities. Many are left wondering if a piece of the American dream has just been rewritten, or perhaps lost forever. The sense of uncertainty is palpable, as people try to grasp the magnitude of what's unfolding. This wasn't just another press release buried in the business section. It was a bombshell that challenges everything we thought we knew about Ford. The announcement has forced everyone, from industry insiders to lifelong Ford fans, to reconsider what the brand truly stands for. Ford is more than a car company. It's a cultural institution, woven into the very fabric of American life. Its vehicles have carried generations on cross-country adventures, paraded down main streets, and become the backdrop for countless family memories. Now, the shockwaves from this announcement are still reverberating. The full impact is only beginning to be understood, as communities, workers, and enthusiasts everywhere try to make sense of what the future holds. Analysts and loyal customers alike are scrambling to process what this means for the future of Ford, and for the American auto industry as a whole. Will this bold move pay off, or will it drive a wedge between Ford and its most devoted supporters? The decision is a high-stakes gamble, one that could either redefine Ford for a new era or risk alienating the very base that built its legacy. The stakes have never been higher, and the outcome is anything but certain. The familiar roar of a V8 engine, once the heartbeat of Ford's identity, now faces an uncertain future. In its place, the quiet hum of electric motors signals a new chapter, one filled with promise but also with questions about what will be gained and what might be lost. This is the story of that monumental shift. A turning point not just for Ford, but for the entire American auto landscape. The road ahead is uncharted, and the journey has only just begun. The automotive world was stunned when the news broke during a live-streamed press conference from Ford's iconic headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan. The event was broadcast to millions, with journalists, industry insiders, and Ford employees all tuning in to witness what would become a historic moment for the company and the industry at large. Standing confidently at the podium, CEO Jim Farley made a groundbreaking announcement. Ford will cease all production of gasoline-powered vehicles for North America by the end of 2026. This bold move marks a definitive end to more than a century of internal combustion engine manufacturing at Ford, signaling a new era for the automaker. Legendary nameplates like the Mustang, F-150, Explorer, and Bronco, vehicles that have defined generations and become household names, will only continue as electric models. The familiar roar of their engines will soon be replaced by the quiet hum of electric motors, forever changing the driving experience for loyal fans. Ford is committing its entire future to a fully electric lineup. There's no gradual phase-out, no hedging bets, just a hard deadline. By 2027, every Ford vehicle rolling off North American assembly lines will be electric, a move that sets Ford apart from competitors still straddling both worlds. To make this vision a reality, major assembly plants across the continent will be retooled from the ground up. This is a massive and costly undertaking, involving new machinery, advanced robotics, and extensive worker retraining. Ford is investing billions to ensure its factories are ready for the electric future. Leading the charge are the F-150 Lightning and Mustang Mach-E, two electric vehicles that have already captured the public's imagination. These models will carry the torch forward, representing Ford's commitment to innovation and performance in the electric age. This marks a stark departure from Ford's previous dual-path strategy, where the company balanced electric vehicles with traditional gasoline-powered models. Now, Ford is making a clean break, betting its future on electrification alone. Farley cited the urgent threat of climate change and the need for technological leadership as the driving forces behind this decision. He emphasized Ford's responsibility to lead the industry toward a more sustainable future, both for the planet and for future generations of drivers. For millions of Americans who rely on gasoline vehicles for work, family, and daily life, the announcement sparked a mix of emotions. For some, it felt like a bold vision of progress. For others, it seemed more like an abandonment of tradition and practicality, raising questions about affordability, infrastructure, and what the future holds for those not yet ready to make the switch. To grasp the shock, you must understand Ford's monumental role in shaping America. Founded in 1903, Ford didn't just build cars, it built the middle class and put the nation on wheels. The Model T transformed society, connecting rural and urban America and creating a new sense of freedom. Ford's F-Series trucks became the backbone of American labor, while the Mustang defined a generation's spirit. During World War II, Ford's factories powered the arsenal of democracy, cementing its patriotic legacy. This deep history is why the recent announcement feels like a betrayal to many. Ford has always been seen as a company that understands the American heartland. Abruptly ending gasoline production is viewed as a disconnect from this legacy. For many, it's not just a product change, it's a change in identity. The audacity of Ford's announcement is what makes it so shocking. In the auto industry, change is usually slow and calculated. To end an entire powertrain within 2 years is almost unheard of. Ford is walking away from the F-150, America's best-selling vehicle for decades, and other profitable icons. Analysts see this as a massive gamble, risking reliable revenue streams. The decision also ignores the realities of rural America, where EV infrastructure is lacking. For many, being forced into an EV feels premature and impractical. Internally, it raises questions about Ford's leadership and risk tolerance. The move creates a chasm between Ford's vision and its traditional customer base. Ford is no longer trying to be a car company for everyone, but a leader for an electrified future. Ford's recent announcement isn't just a headline, it carries a profound human cost, especially for the thousands of men and women who make up its dedicated workforce. For many, these jobs are more than just a paycheck. They represent years of hard work, pride, and a sense of belonging to something bigger than themselves. The uncertainty now looming over their futures is palpable, casting a shadow over entire communities. The shift to electric vehicles, while promising for the environment, comes with a hidden price. Electric vehicles require far fewer parts than traditional cars, which means that jobs in engine and transmission plants, once bustling with activity, are now at risk of disappearing. The silence of idle machinery is a stark reminder of the changes underway. In towns across Michigan, Ohio, and Kentucky, where Ford factories have long been the economic backbone, this transition brings deep uncertainty. Local businesses, schools, and even community events often depend on the steady income from these plants. Now the future of these towns hangs in the balance. For generations, families have relied on Ford jobs for stability and a sense of purpose. Grandparents, parents, and children have all walked the same factory floors, building not just cars but a legacy. Today that legacy feels threatened, and the promise of stability is slipping away. Ford has promised to create new jobs in electric vehicle production, and job fairs are being held to fill these roles. However, it remains unclear whether these new positions will truly match the number or the quality of the jobs being lost. Many workers worry about lower wages, fewer benefits, or the need to relocate. The impact doesn't stop at the factory gates. The entire supply chain, from small machine shops that craft specialized parts to local dealerships that sell and service vehicles, faces existential threats. These businesses, often family-owned for decades, now find themselves in jeopardy. Mechanics and dealership staff are being asked to retrain, learning new skills to keep up with rapidly changing technology. For some, this is an exciting opportunity, but for others, it means starting over in a field they thought they knew inside and out. The economic uncertainty created by these changes will ripple through thousands of families and small businesses. Kitchen tables across the region are filled with worried conversations about bills, mortgages, and what the future might hold. For many, the promise of a green transition feels hollow when it comes at the expense of their livelihoods. Protests and rallies are becoming more common as workers demand answers and a fair path forward. Ultimately, the human element will be one of the most critical challenges in this transition. Behind every statistic is a person, a family, and a community grappling with change. How these challenges are addressed will shape not just the future of Ford, but the future of entire regions. For millions of loyal Ford customers, this announcement creates an immediate dilemma. Many see their vehicles as part of their identity, tough trucks, iconic Mustangs. Now, buyers must rush to get the last gasoline models or consider leaving the brand. Electric vehicles remain pricier than gas models, and incentives don't always bridge the gap. Range anxiety, charging access, and battery performance in harsh climates remain concerns. Used car values are uncertain. Will gas Fords become classics or liabilities? The trust in Ford's long-term viability is shaken. By eliminating gasoline options, Ford risks pushing loyalists to competitors. Consumers value choice, and many aren't ready for a forced shift to electric. Ford's bombshell sends tremors through the auto industry. Competitors like GM and Stellantis may double down on gasoline vehicles to capture Ford's displaced customers. Marketing could position Ram and Chevy as the last bastions of traditional trucks. If Ford's gamble pays off, rivals may scramble to catch up in the EV race. The move could trigger new alliances, tech races, and supply chain shifts. The industry's competitive landscape is about to be reshaped. Ford's path forward is filled with both opportunity and risk. Retooling factories on a tight timeline is a logistical and financial challenge. Any delays or quality issues could erode consumer confidence. Charging infrastructure is critical. Without it, the all-electric strategy could fail. Ford must invest in charging networks and lobby for government support. Marketing and education will be key to winning over skeptical customers. Ford is betting everything on a single vision of the future. If successful, it could lead the electric era. If not, the consequences could be dire. The next few years will determine Ford's fate. Ford's decision to end gasoline vehicle production by 2026 is a watershed moment. The move disrupts workers, challenges customer loyalty, and forces competitors to react. The road ahead is uncertain, with massive logistical and cultural hurdles. The industry must now innovate faster than ever. Will infrastructure and technology keep pace with Ford's timeline? Ford has forced a national conversation about the future of transportation. The American road will never look the same again.